we keep associating Jimmy Garoppolo with the Patriots. We keep talking about what San Francisco is going to do. Those things all seem to be tied together. Where does Fields fit into all of it now as he prepares for what is his second pro day?
I think, you mentioned Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch will plan to go and see him in person, which they didn't the first time around. They went to Mac Jones's pro day at Alabama instead. It was on the same day. But they knew Fields was going to do another workout, and they planned to see him all along. There's a strong feeling around the league that Mac Jones is the 49ers guy at number 3, but I don't think it's 100% a done deal yet, and I think it remains possible that they end up changing course and landing on either Trey Lance or Justin Fields with that pick. So 20 days, still time to discuss it, still time to potentially change their minds if they do feel like they're set on Mac Jones, and Fields will get an opportunity next week to see if he can force his way into a higher level of that discussion.
Nico, we haven't had a chance to talk with you about it this week, and the real question is this. When you're drafting as high in the draft as some of the teams we're talking about here, let's use the 49ers, for example, who not only are drafting third, but traded so much away to get there, 3 1s and a 3. Everyone by now knows how they got to where they are. Do you think that the idea that you're taking a quarterback possibly, does that quarterback need to check every box the way a guy like Fields does, add that level of dynamic athleticism? How do you see it as a former NFL linebacker?
If you're picking 3, you better pick somebody that's going to be a franchise player, especially if he's a quarterback. He's got to check all the boxes. And you're looking to replace your starting quarterback that you paid a lot of money to, and they already put it out there that they want to pick a quarterback, and they moved up to go and get a quarterback.
I've been saying for a while on my radio show here, Matt Miller, that the way that San Francisco could do this is what we now would describe as the Mahomes model, which is you have the starter in place. In this case, it's Jimmy G, as Alex Smith was in Kansas City. You draft a young quarterback who looks like he has superstar potential but might not be ready to play immediately, and you develop him. Now, that's not what Mac Jones projects to be. So how do you see this right now playing out with Fields having a second pro day and the Niners sitting there at number 3?
Yeah, I think that is the ideal method. Everyone would love the Mahomes plan to get someone into the starting lineup. But I think with the 49ers, they have at least come out and said Jimmy's our quarterback for 2021. Whether that's just a diversion to try to drum up trade interest or not, we'll see. But I don't think there's anything Justin Fields can necessarily do at a second pro day that he hasn't shown already. I mean, 2 years of starting in the Big Ten where he never lost a game. We already saw the first pro day where he ran a 4.4, and we know how good he is. So, yes, we're all prone to bias and what we saw most recently. Maybe John Lynch and, more importantly, Kyle Shanahan could go to Columbus, Ohio, fall in love with what they're seeing from Justin Fields. I think more than anything, they're just checking the boxes at this point. Also, Sean Wade, the corner from Ohio State, will be working out that day as well. Maybe they want to take a look at him. I mean, right now, I think we're looking as fans, as analysts, everyone wants to believe that the 49ers won't draft Mac Jones. We're looking for reasons to say, oh, well, maybe they'll go fall in love with Justin Fields, or maybe Trey Lance will have another workout. I think it just, the Mac Jones pick goes against a lot of logic and a lot of rankings. So we're all looking for maybe Justin Fields can do something to get back up to where we all believe he should be drafted.
The other piece of it is that Mac Jones feels like if you draft him, he's ready to go week 1, which would suggest, Dan Graziano, that the possibility of trading Jimmy Garoppolo then comes back into the conversation. Is it oversimplifying it to say if Jimmy G gets traded, they're taking Mac Jones? And if he doesn't get traded, they might be taking somebody else? That's the way I keep looking at it. Does it make sense to you?
It's probably oversimplifying, but I think the way to look at it is whenever it is that the Niners decide that their rookie draft pick is ready to play and help them win games, not just play and take his lumps, but help them win games, that's when Jimmy Garoppolo becomes available. So if that's the day after the first round, or if it's in training camp, or if it's in October, that's it. But it's not overstating this to say that this is it for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch as leadership of the 49ers. This pick will determine whether they are successful in these roles or not going forward. It's that significant.
Yeah, I mean, they traded so much to go up and get him for a team that is thinking Super Bowl thought. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.